There's a quote from the movie Heat, and it's one of my favorite quotes, and it goes something along the lines of, never commit yourself to something that you can't walk out on in 30 seconds or less. And it's one of the best quotes I've heard for sure, because once you completely commit to something, right, super strongly, you're risking a lot. So you're risking your heart, you're risking your soul, and you got to have that little piece of yourself that you can make sure that you have no matter what. And because if you completely commit yourself to anything, whether it be a company, whether it be a woman, whether it be your YouTube channel, right, everything could get canceled just like that. You know, the amount of like YouTube channels that I've seen where YouTube just like bans them or like demonetizes them, and that income stream is just cooked. And even if it's like something very small, or like Facebook ad accounts just like that, you know, a company just fires someone that's been there for like 8 years just like that. You know, like a friend, right? You guys are like really committed to one another or whatever. You guys have been through thick and thin, and out of nowhere something happens, or maybe your friend was talking to your girlfriend or whatever, and you saw the text messages just like that. Dude, never ever fully commit yourself to something. You got to have a backup plan, and realize that shit could always go sour, and shit will hit the fan eventually. If it ever goes down, if you ever find out, maybe like there's some people that had that brutal realization where it's like the girl cheated or whatever, you gotta always have that thing in the back of your mind where it's like, this could all go sour, and I gotta be ready to walk out in 30 seconds or less. Because once you give that full everything, your soul, that's when people, you know, that's when people crash out. That's how people fall into drugs. That's how people fall into, you know, whatever, bad habits. Their habits get screwed up. You know, they start like gaining a bunch of weight. They bottom out, and you don't want to bottom out, because if you bottom out, and even if let's say you bottom out at like 17, right? Or let's say you bottom out at like 20, you could come back from that, right? Like if you fall down that hole, but like, you know, you could climb back from it because you're still young. But dude, when you bottom out, especially when you're like 27, 28, 29, and you know, you get into court because of like, I don't know, money stuff. You got a girl pregnant, right? And you know, now you need to pay child support, or like, you know, she takes half your money, or you know, whatever, or not even that, like something happens where you were like unfaithful, and that's on you, right? And or something happens like in business where like somebody tries suing you, right? That shit messes up everything, man, and you have to be ready for that. And never ever commit yourself to something that you can't walk out on in 30 seconds or less. You always got to make sure you find something else.